It's time to start the very, very busy weekend that we got coming up ahead of us. Friday Night SmackDown, we just got done with that. Saturday night's main event is tomorrow. Lucha Libre Triple A as well as tomorrow. And also on Sunday, I may or may not be watching AEW Double or Nothing. I don't know yet. We will see. But for today, we got to get started with Friday Night SmackDown. My name is Edgar. I am the host. Welcome everybody to Snug Wrestling, another episode of Snug Wrestling. With me today is Tommy. Tommy, what's good, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good. In fact, just earlier today, yes, shameless plug, I went ahead and bought two Snug Wrestling merch shirts and cannot wait for those to come in. So with that, I will make a unboxing when it comes in. That way y'all can see what I got as well. But overall, I am feeling real good. The show itself it had its ups and downs, but overall I liked it.
Yeah, dude, and I'm not just saying this to plug our own shit, but like the quality of our shirts are really fucking good. Like we have all kinds of different shirt sizes and different type of style shirts. Like I think this is just a regular one, but they have like vintage style shirts. They have like heavier shirts. They have like workout shirts and the hats. They have dad hats. They have baseball hats. They have trucker hats. They have all kinds of shit. I my personal favorite is the baseball cap. That one is my favorite. This is the dad hat, but I like the baseball cap too. I also have a trucker hat, but the baseball cap is my favorite. I need to get some more of those myself. Um, so yeah, man, definitely check out our merch. The link is in all of our bios and all that good stuff. But yeah, thanks for reminding me, Tommy, about that. By the way, yeah, also mugs, hoodies, stickers, fucking posters, everything and anything that you can think of. We have like over 100 different designs. So yeah, go check
The
those out, man. It's
tapestry behind this man as well.
yeah, like
We've
this right
got
here, this one right here. Um, Shorts, socks, crew necks, long sleeve, tank top, like everything. We got everything, bro. Go check it out. But on to business, Tommy. Other business. Is it so much to ask for? Like I felt like this whole 3 hours of SmackDown consisted of two matches. Like we got two really good matches, which was Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams and Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn in the main event. And both of these matches were unannounced and unexpected, but both of them were really good. If only all of the matches were like this. If only all of the matches were as interesting and as good as this, we wouldn't be complaining as much or feeling like, man, we got to sit through 3 whole hours of this shit. Is that so much to ask for? Am I just acting like a fucking like a spoiled brat here or something? Or how did you feel about SmackDown?
I feel like SmackDown as a whole was better when it was 2 hours. I mean, I get why they went 3 hours just to like shove more stuff in and all of that, get the builds better for the big shows. But at the same time, Raw is doing great and is clearly the superior show at 2.5 hours. And with SmackDown, it constantly feels like it's dragging and just has a bunch of filler stuff.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a very, very quick review, Tommy, because there's not really much to go over because they're not only just leading up for Saturday night's main event, which is tomorrow night, but they're also leading up to Clash in Italy, which is next weekend. So a lot of the stuff that we saw on this episode of SmackDown was just to further build those two shows. So we didn't really get a whole lot of new stuff here. It's just like previews of what we are going to see tomorrow night and next weekend. For example, we saw Rhea Ripley. So we got some star power here on this episode of Friday Night SmackDown to kick us off. and she has a big 6 woman tag team match tomorrow night at Saturday Night's Main Event with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. And they're trying to tell this story that Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley aren't really getting along. Alexa Bliss is like the one in the middle trying to make things work between them so they can all get on the same page for their match tomorrow. So basically, they had this back and forth, Charlotte and Rhea, where Charlotte was like, "Where were you last week, Rhea? We needed your help when we were getting beat up by Lash Legend and Nia Jax." And Rhea was like, "Wait a minute. You told me that you didn't need my help." So that's the situation there in that group that may come into play tomorrow night. And to fix this, I believe it was Alexa Bliss that decided you guys should team up together tonight versus the Fatal Influence.
Yeah, this segment as a whole, I'm looking at it, I'm like, this was literally stupid. I don't even know why they're doing a match with it, knowing the fact that literally tomorrow you're going up against the group that has been laying you out. So, why are you trying to talk shit to Fatal Influence, piss him off, and have a match later on in the night? It made no sense to me on that, knowing the fact that one of them is your champion. So you really don't want her on the down with that. And then you've got Charlotte Flair, who is Charlotte Flair. She has held more titles than any woman in WWE history because it's Charlotte. So that was my biggest problem, was why are you having this match when you're having a 6-woman tag literally tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think the big question that they're trying to throw in there is, can these two get along? Are they going to be able to coexist and work together tomorrow? But I mean, I feel like we've seen this so many times now. It's like classic booking, you know. Two big stars with egos are they going to be on the same page? And it's just, I don't know. Did this make you want to see the 6 women tag team match at all tomorrow night even more?
No, I didn't care about it to begin with, simply because of the fact that I basically thought that we had already seen this match before, and we have literally like 3 weeks ago or something like that was the exact same match that we're getting tomorrow night. So at that point, I just felt like we had already seen it. So I really
Okay.
didn't care. But now I don't care even more.
Yeah. I guess the only good thing that I liked about this was the fact that they're trying to do something with the Fatal Influence. They just came up from NXT and they're getting to have these segments with 3 of the top women in the women's division. You have the new up and coming girls from NXT, Fatal Influence, stepping up to Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Rhea Ripley.
I feel like the NXT call ups are kind of calling their shots too early. We have gone through that with Ethan Page, and the fact that we both have a feeling like he's not getting that Intercontinental title tomorrow night because of the fact that it's too early. And then you have Soruka trying to call her shot at Becky Lynch for the women's Intercontinental title, in which it's way too soon for her. And now you've got Fatal Influence doing the exact same thing with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair and Alexa, who don't even have the titles anymore. So at this point, it is too early for the NXT people to be calling their title shots.
Yeah, and they also said something really interesting during this segment, this opening segment. JC Jane said something along the lines of, "Oh, we have ascended to the top of the women's division with ease." It's like, you guys have been here for like 2, 3 weeks. What have you guys done that makes you think you have ascended to the top of the women's division with ease. They haven't done jack shit.
Girl, you have had one match that you won via cheating.
I
That's
get
it.
I get that they're heels and they have to talk shit, but like what the fuck? Like that's insane.
Like, ain't no way you have climbed the mountain that quickly when you've not beaten Charlotte Flair, not beaten Alexa Bliss, hasn't even come close to beating Rhea Ripley, the current champion, or any former champion for that matter, in the past 5 years to hold that
Yeah.
title. So, no, the hell you haven't, JC.
There's a few things on this episode of SmackDown that did not make sense to me, and we'll get into that later on. The MFTs were all over this episode of SmackDown. Like this whole episode of SmackDown pretty much revolved around them because they had two matches on this card. The first match that the MFTs had was Tala Tonga versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and the second one was Solo Sikoa versus Damian Priest before the main event. First off, the match with Tala Tonga and Shinsuke Nakamura was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed this a lot more than I thought. I thought Shinsuke Nakamura worked really, really well versus the much bigger Tala Tonga. The way that this match went down made perfect sense to me as far as Tala Tonga being the much bigger, more dominant guy. And Shinsuke Nakamura trying to fight back, struggling to, get the big man down. And that part I thought was really fucking good. And then, Shinsuke Nakamura is the guy that's been trying to drive a wedge between Solo and Tama Tonga, right? Being that little devil on Tama Tonga's shoulder, trying to tell him, like, hey man, like you gotta get your shit together, basically. So there's that in question too. How is Tama Tonga gonna react to this match, Thanks to the help of Solo Sikoa, Tala Tonga gets the win over Shinsuke Nakamura. And after the match, they go after Shinsuke Nakamura again. Solo Sikoa is about to hit the Samoan spike on Shinsuke, and Tama Tonga stops him. So for a split second, we're thinking, "Oh shit, here comes the turn." Tama Tonga is not gonna allow Solo to attack an old friend of his, Shinsuke Nakamura, but Tama Tonga ends up doing it himself. So he pretty much proves his loyalty to Solo Sikoa, and they beat up Shinsuke Nakamura after the match.
Tala Tonga really does remind me of one person. And no, it is not just because of the fact that both of them are giants. He reminds me a lot, again, not just size wise, not just power wise, but the way he is in the ring. He reminds me of Omos a little bit. Again, not because size, because, yeah, both of them are like 7 feet tall, but still, these two men, the way they are in the ring, they are very, very similar at this point. And with Shinsuke, I'm not surprised that he had to struggle because as of late, he is so used to wrestling people that are like the same height as him, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe a tiny bit taller than him, maybe a little bit more power on his end or on theirs. But he's not used to wrestling someone the size and the power of Tala Tonga. So, of course, he was going to have some struggle with it. But with Tala Tonga, it works because of the fact that we haven't really seen much wrestling come out of him in the ring overall. We've more or less seen him more outside of the ring on ringside.
Mm-hmm.
So him winning only does a little bit more for him, especially knowing the fact that he just got to win by cheating, yes, but still got to win nonetheless over Shinsuke Nakamura, somebody who I believe has held the WWE title in the past, a gigantic Intercontinental. In fact, he was the one who switched the title from the white strap to the Intercontinental title we have now. It was Sami Zayn who took the white strap from him and handed him the current Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I'm not against Talatanga building him up more because he is a big ass motherfucker, so he should be threatening, he should be imposing. So I'm all for getting Talatanga some more wins and making this guy credible because right now it's just he's just not. So I want to see them do something more with Talatanga and just make him more threatening, you know?
Well, clearly he's already got the intimidation portion simply because of the fact that people are just like, hey, I have to look up at you. You are scary.
Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, and then they went and did the open challenge for Tiffany Stratton's United States Championship, and it was Lash Legend. At some point through this match, um, it was a 2-on-1 situation. So Chelsea Green, of all people, came out to even the odds. She was ringside. Nia Jax was in Lash Legend's corner. Chelsea Green was in Tiffany Stratton's corner. Nia Jax tried to get involved at some point during the match. Chelsea Green took out Nia Jax. Tiffany Stratton took advantage, and she got the win, and she retained in this open challenge versus Lash Legend.
This is what I find interesting with the WWE. When they don't know what to do, they just start an open challenge. As of recently, you've got Obafemi with his open challenges. Now you have Tiffany Stratton with hers. And then, not to mention, we went on that super, super long time frame where the men's United States title was also going through open challenge after open challenge. So at this point, I don't know if there is, right now at least, a big enough star for them to like put that title on shows because they haven't had them at the big shows. It wasn't at WrestleMania. It wasn't at Backlash. So at this point, what stars are you going to have face Tiffany Stratton for that United States title that you can feasibly see take it off of her right now?
Yeah, I think all of this is eventually going to lead to. It's going to have to lead to what Tiffany Stratton versus Chelsea Green, which I'm sure the people are going to fall behind Chelsea Green 100%, right?
People love Chelsea Green, so odds are, yeah, she will. But I think she's got somebody else on her hands first, someone who's got a giant target on her. Blake Monroe showed up tonight in a backstage segment and had a little bit of a face-to-face with Chelsea Green. So I have a feeling like Chelsea's got to deal with her first.
Fair enough. Finally, we get something that to me was really interesting. We got a confrontation between Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. First, Trick Williams was talking about how he beat a future WWE Hall of Famer, The Miz. And then he gets interrupted by Carmelo Hayes. And Carmelo Hayes brings up the fact that the only reason he's United States champion is because Trick Williams caused Carmelo Hayes his title versus Sami Zayn a few months ago. Which is true. They also bring up the history between Carmelo Hayes, how Carmelo Hayes wants his title back, and how Trick Williams used to be second fiddle to Carmelo Hayes, right? So basically, Carmelo Hayes challenges Trick Williams to a match on the spot, and typically, heels, when they get challenged this way, they say, no, we're not going to do that. But Trick Williams he's no typical heel. Trick Williams is a cool heel that the people love. If you can even call Trick Williams a heel anymore. At this point, I don't even know. It's confusing because he has the manager. He cheats a lot. He talks like a heel. He wrestles like a heel.
But
But the
at the
people love
same
him.
time, look at how the crowd reacts to him.
Right. So I'm thinking how is Trick Williams going to answer? Because usually the heel is going to say no, he's going to turn it down. But Trick Williams says, all right, let's do it. So we have a match between Carmelo and Trick Williams on the spot. The only thing that I wasn't sure, was this match for the title?
It was not.
Okay.
I
So maybe
myself was going back and forth on it too because I thought it was for a second. And then at the end, they didn't say and still United States champion. So I'm like, so this wasn't for the title? Really?
yeah. So besides that, the match was really good. I mean, these two, they know each other so well. They so much chemistry here. The match was great. Ricky Saints showed up ringside at some point, and it looked like he was out there for Carmelo Hayes. Ricky Saints was. He tried to Ricky Saints tried to get involved in the match to attack Carmelo Hayes, which one would think, Trick being a heel again, it's confusing. Typically, a heel would take advantage and get the win right off the bat after an interference. But Trick Williams went after Ricky Saints, and then Ricky Saints went after Trick Williams, and then I believe Ricky Saints went after Carmelo Hayes again, which then led to Trick Williams taking advantage, hitting his finisher on Carmelo, 1, 2, 3. So Carmelo Hayes got the win over, Trick Williams got the win over Carmelo Hayes, but it was pretty much like a 3-on-1 situation here, is what it seemed like, right?
Yeah, and I have a feeling like we still are getting something that we have basically said that we all wanted and should have happened, like say at Mania or at Backlash, but it didn't happen. Maybe we get it here. Maybe we get a good old NXT triple threat between Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and Ricky Saints. That in itself, I would love to see, just because of the star power between the three of them alone. They could easily, quite easily, like carry a match, just the three of them, just on who they are. But that's the only like feasibly thing that I can think of because of the fact that Ricky kind of went back and forth on who he was attacking. So I would not be surprised if this ends up being a triple threat for that United States title.
Hate you, Tommy. No. No, I'm kidding. I would like to see, because we saw Carmelo Hayes attack Ricky Saints backstage. Give me a feud between Carmelo Hayes and Ricky Saints. Give me a feud between those two guys, and whoever comes out on top of this feud gets a shot at Trick Williams. That's what I would like to see.
That would be like really good. But at the same time here, you have to remember how Trick won and how he won that United States title in the first place off of Carmelo Hayes being injured, which he did injure him at that point. Just gonna put that out there. I do not think Carmelo Hayes is done with Trick yet.
What do you mean by injured? He hit him over the head with like a fucking, it was like a cup or something when Carmelo lost. It was versus Sami Zayn. Or what are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. I was thinking of that match and connecting the leg injury that he had for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no.
The entire reason why he was out for like 2 months.
No, yeah, I don't think that was related. Although that could be the reason why they took the belt off Carmelo Hayes. I'm not sure. But Sami Zayn beat Carmelo Hayes for the title thanks to Trick Williams. And then that's when Trick Williams beat Sami Zayn. And that's why we have Trick as US champion now, right?
Yeah. So again, I do not think that Carmelo is done with Trick yet.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not. I'm pretty sure we're going to see more of that. But I think Carmelo Hayes is going to feud with Ricky Saints first. He might be the one to go over on that feud, which then later on down the road we will get Carmelo versus Trick Williams, which is going to be dope. Maybe at SummerSlam.
I would not be surprised if that's a SummerSlam match. But the problem is we've got until August, and that's not that far away at this point. We've got like 2 months by the time Clash in Italy
I
happens.
think Trick and Mello, that's all they need because they already have so much history. They have a lot of things that they can use to add to their feud, their story, their build up. I mean, it seems like they already started tonight, with the fact how Carmelo Hayes was trying to egg on Trick Williams, telling them, like, oh, are you
Like
going
you
to
were
ask
always
your.
better second fiddle.
Right. Oh, and maybe you can find some time between your hair and your nail appointment. You have to ask your manager for permission, shit like that. Um, but we'll see what happens with that with the United States champion, good old Trick Willie. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley faced the Fatal Influence, and I don't even remember who won this match. All I remember is that Jade and B-Fab attacked Rhea Ripley after the match.
The winner was Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair because Rhea put her into like the riptide. I believe it was Fallon Henley that she did. But Charlotte took a very quick tag to Rhea Ripley. So that's how that ended up happening, and Charlotte got the pin on that. So this match I was on. Again, I get that they wanted to put over the Fatal Influence girls and kind of like build them up a little bit more. But at the same time here, why was this match happening? You want them as close to 100% as possible. So why less than 24 hours before that 6-woman tag? It made no sense to me why this couldn't have happened like next week.
No, because they're trying to tell that story between Rhea and Charlotte. Are they going to be able to get along? Can they work together? It was a little teaser for tomorrow night. That's always been done. That's not the problem. And they're pros. Like, they know how to have a good, safe working match because they know that they have the big match the next day or whatever. It's
But
just.
at the same time, if you're looking at, oh, can they get along? This isn't the first time they've had this problem and was able to get along. I will gladly remind you of War Games. For like a month leading up to that, that was the entire point of them arguing back and forth, trying to see if they would get along. And as soon as both of them got into that cage, they were just fine. They have had this problem before, and it has clearly been shown that when the match happens, they can.
Yeah, it's another reason why there's like little to no interest in this because it's like how many times have we seen this? Not just with Charlotte and Rhea alone, but in general, it's just typical booking. We see it a lot. All right, let's move on to Solo Sikoa versus Damian Priest. Now, earlier we pointed out some things that didn't really make sense. This was another thing that didn't make sense to me, Tommy. This match right here. Before this match, there was a backstage segment with the MFTs where Tama Tonga was telling Solo, everyone here thinks you're weak. Everyone here thinks the family's weak, that the MFTs are weak. You have to go out there and you have to handle Damian Priest by yourself so we can prove to everybody that you are not weak, right? Solo Sikoa agrees. The match starts between Solo and Damian Priest. Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga are ringside and they're interfering in this match nonstop behind the referee's back. I'm like, what the fuck happened to you gotta go out there, you gotta do it on your own? Did I miss something here, Tommy?
No, you didn't. That is the exact criticism that popped into my head during this match. Like, yeah, sure. Damian Priest came out to try to help Shinsuke Nakamura earlier on in the show. That was great. No. Why? Tama, you legitimately just said, hey, you have to do this on your own to prove everyone wrong. And then y'all do everything but stand back. It makes no sense on that. Dude, you were going back on what you just said not 5 minutes ago.
Good Lord, bro. I was okay. I thought I was tripping. I was like, wait a minute. He did say that, right? Oh, good Lord. Okay. Solo Sikoa won this match again with the help of both of his faction members. And then after the match, they were going to continue the beatdown the same way that they did to Shinsuke Nakamura earlier in the night. But instead of Shinsuke Nakamura coming back and returning the favor, it was Royce Keys came out for the save and he chased out the MFTs. So doesn't look like Royce Keys is going to be joining the MFTs at all, right?
Well, we had that tease. He took out Tama Tonga.
Timon and Pumbaa.
And then he also took out Tala Tonga as well. And then he had a little bit of a face-to-face with Solo Sikoa, where Solo was ready with that spike before he walked away and left Royce Keys in the ring with Damian Priest. So there's still that tease of will he, won't he, within this situation here.
All right, and then we go to the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn, an unexpected impromptu match. This was perfect. This was lovely. This made SmackDown, sitting through 3 hours, this main event made it worth it for so many reasons. Not only do we have star power with Cody and Sami Zayn, but we have the perfect situation here with Sami Zayn, who's been complaining a lot lately. He gets himself into some trouble trying to argue with Nick Aldis. You have no room for me. I'm one of the top stars here. You don't have anything for me to do. Oh, but I bet you if it was Cody Rhodes would get that time, right? Cody Rhodes hears them. He's like, all right, let's have a match. Boom. Sami Zayn has been getting a lot of heat lately with his complaining and his negative attitude. What better way to put more heat on Sami Zayn than by putting him with the whitest fucking baby face on the planet, the white meat baby face on the planet, Cody Rhodes. The champion, right? The guy that everyone loves in the WWE. This was perfect, man. I'm already hooked on the match. You know, I want to see what is Sami Zayn going to do to put more heat on himself, right? And he does. Sami gets a little aggressive there. We see a little bit of his fierce side in this match. He starts working on Cody's knee, and Cody Rhodes is able to get the win barely. Because Gunther showed up, right? Gunther showed up, and it looked like Sami Zayn might get the win here. Behind the referee's back, Gunther attacks Cody, but Cody is able to still outsmart Gunther and get the pin over Sami Zayn, which at first I was like, I would have liked to seen Sammy get the win over Cody tonight with the help of Gunther because that's going to put more heat on Sammy, right? But instead, they did one even better. Cody got the win, obviously, because he's about to go into Clash in Italy next week versus Gunther. I don't think it makes sense for Cody to lose before his big championship match. What they ended up doing, they still managed to get Cody over, make him look strong going into Clash in Italy, and still put a lot of heat on Sami Zayn. Gunther attacked Cody after the match. Sami Zayn has the opportunity to help Cody, to defend Cody from the Gunther attack, but decides to walk away. Sami Zayn decided to stand there and do absolutely nothing. And he let Gunther attack Cody Rhodes. This was fucking great, Tommy. I thought this was cinema, bro. But what did you think?
It was, but you want to know what would have made this even better? If Sammy went back and attacked Cody, and this is where the damn heel turn happens. That would have been even better. Because, boom, there's the heel turn we have been waiting for a hot minute now. Because clearly that's where this is going, is where Sami Zayn turns heel at some point. But at the same time, this would have been the perfect spot. Gunther has Cody laid out. As soon as he lets that choker go, Cody's laying there on the canvas. It's right there. All Sammy had to do, because he was already looking behind him at what was happening, all he had to do was run back in there and pull out a few kicks on Cody. That would have been even better. But that's not what they did. So I have a feeling like this heel turn is still going to happen. That's exactly where this is leading to. But maybe it happens still on Cody's terms, like with Cody.
Yeah.
Maybe it happens at Clash.
Nah, dude. You know why? Because you remember the last time Sami Zayn did a big major turn like that?
I cannot remember off the top of my head.
Roman Reigns, wasn't it at the Royal Rumble where
right, yeah.
Where he hit Roman
where he turned face
on with the steel chair, right? I think it's going to be something big like that. If we know Sami Zayn, they're going to do something major. So I'm thinking, fuck, would they do it in Saudi Arabia? Isn't the Royal Rumble going to be in Saudi the next one next year?
No, Mania's in Saudi.
Okay, Mania.
Wait. Night of Champions isn't there, I don't think. If it is, that would be the perfect spot because that's Saudi. I think there is another Saudi show coming up, though.
Let me check. I think it's the Royal Rumble, dude. So what is it going to be? 2027. Well, no official. Oh, no. So this year's Rumble was in Saudi Arabia. So I think next year's Mania is going to be in Saudi, right?
Yeah, they announced like last year that Mania was going to end up being in Saudi. And people were pissed.
Okay, so I mean, what else is coming up before you got SummerSlam? SummerSlam might be too soon. I'm thinking if you turn Sami Zayn full-blown heel in Saudi Arabia, I think that would be a huge moment.
I don't know if they're going to hold it off for a whole year, though.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Because the one that we know is in Saudi for sure is Mania. And if that's where he wins the big one, they're not going to want to turn him heel there.
Maybe he goes in as the heel in Saudi Arabia.
That
Because
I
no
don't
matter
know.
what, because no matter what, Saudi Arabia is going to cheer for Sammy, heel or babyface. All I know is that it's not going to be in Clash in Italy. That's for sure. I think that's too soon. Fuck, maybe it even happens at SummerSlam, bro.
But the question is SummerSlam too soon?
When is it? You said in August?
It's in August. It's like 7th and 8th or something like that.
So we got about 2 months. No, I don't think that's too soon, bro. I don't think that's too soon. I'm gonna say Sammy's gonna turn full blown heel 100% because we already saw the cracks tonight. We already saw the cracks tonight when he walked away from Cody while he was getting beat up by Gunther. I'm gonna say SummerSlam is gonna be a huge moment, and he's gonna turn heel on Cody, and then I think the main event at WrestleMania next year is going to be Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes.
Again, though?
At a WrestleMania? Sami versus Cody. When did Cody and Sami... Has Sami Zayn had a shot?
The reason why I'm saying again is because of the fact that people are already going after his current title reign. People are legitimately, as I've seen, calling him Cody Hogan right now.
Well, yeah, I mean he's the top guy right now. He's like, how many times did Roman Reigns main event WrestleMania?
You have a point on that one because he's been main eventing like the past 5 years.
It makes sense for Cody to be
at least.
He's the guy. Cody's the guy. No matter what people say about him, love or hate him, he's the guy. So
you're not wrong, and I would not be surprised if that is where they end up going.
Well, because after what we saw tonight, Cody is gonna realize, hey, you didn't fucking help me. You had the chance to help me. So from there, Cody's not gonna forget about that, bro. I think this is the beginning of that feud for next year's WrestleMania for Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. And I think Sami Zayn is going to beat Cody at WrestleMania. I think that's where all of this is heading.
If that's where this is heading, people still aren't happy with the fact that Cody is champion, and people are continuously saying, take it off of him. But if that happens at Mania in Saudi, that would be massive.
Yeah, I think so too. But let us know what you guys think. Maybe we're just really feeling the brouhahas that I've been drinking tonight. I don't know. But yeah, let us know in the comments. Leave a star rating, leave a review. We spent a lot more time than I thought on this episode of Friday Night SmackDown because it was just the best things that came out of this episode of SmackDown was 2 matches. That's it. But we'll be back tomorrow for Saturday night's main event. We got some AAA Lucha Libre stuff coming out. It's going to be a fun weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. Tommy, like always, thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you here with us. And let's get up out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was this Friday Night SmackDown review. You can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, not Friday anymore. It'll now be turned into Sunday as well. There's also that Thursday night, the one-on-one with Mr. Blood and our glorious leader, Snug, on TikTok Live. That will be on Mondays for Raw, Wednesdays for good old NXT, and then now Sundays for Friday Night SmackDown as well. We're going to review Saturday night's main event tomorrow night, and mark your calendars because next week on Wednesday as well, there will be that good old prediction episode for Clash in Italy. damn, my brain is not wanting to cooperate tonight. So that was one time for the one time. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.